going too fast. I'm taking 3.
I'm going for the singles now.
Oh no!
Son of a bitch.
You get your 2?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course. I've got 2 battles today. The first one we're taking a look at is in the old Mikhail, the Tier 8 Russian cruiser, and we are on 2 brothers. So taking a look around, we can see the battle is just starting, and what are we going to do in this battle? Obviously I started on the east side, so I'm considering going on the east, right? I figure that that's probably a good place to go. In the Mikhail, hopefully I can play maybe defensive over there, but then you can see, yeah, I don't know. The majority of my ships are most likely going to go to the west, so what I decided to do is just to drive to sail rather, more or less straight, right? I'm going to go into the cap, the southernmost cap. We're going to take it, and then sort of reassess from there, see what the team does. Now, looking at the team, I decided I am going to go to the east. The majority of the ships, as we know, are going to go to the west. So I figure the east is probably a safe bet to go, really to play a defensive game here anyway, because all I'm looking to do in this battle specifically is to gain money. That's all I really want. At this point in time, I'm fairly close to the rune. I think maybe 20,000 away at this point in time anyway, and I only need to do maybe 6 million more credits, and then I can buy her. So that's basically all I'm looking to do in the old Mikhail. It's just to get some money today, right? That's all I want. All I'm looking to do here. And the Mikhail is really good at getting money. Now, obvious reasons. It is a premium. She excels at earning money. That is for damn sure. And it's not a bad cruiser. I do really enjoy this cruiser. I'm happy with the purchase itself. What I find funny about the cruiser, though, the Mikhail, is a lot of people bought it right away, and my clan NGA is doing skirmishes right now with other clans, unofficial like tournament things, right? So a lot of people bought the Mikhail and assumed that this was going to be a great ship to play in those skirmishes in amongst the other clans, but it really isn't that great of a cruiser to bring in. There's a number of reasons for it. The main reason is that the Mikhail excels at anti-aircraft ability, right? That's what it does basically. That's what it excels at. Now the guns in the Mikhail are fairly decent. They can do decent damage. They've got a pretty good range and whatnot. The problem is that I just don't find that the damage rolls on the guns are really as high as, say, a Mogami, for example. So I just found it funny to see how suddenly everyone is trying to get their hands on the Mikhail to get into the skirmishes, and then it figures out, well, the Mikhail really isn't that great. Why would you bring in the Mikhail when you could have a Hipper, a Mogami? If you really wanted an anti-aircraft cruiser, I would go with the New Orleans myself, just because at the very least the New Orleans has 8-inch cannons and better armor than this Mikhail, because the Mikhail can get citadelled fairly easy, very much like Japanese cruisers, for example. Really easy to citadel those things. Anyway, we've gotten a Thotgor off in the distance, so I am engaging this guy with my high explosive shell, and the idea here is hopefully to set a fire to him, but more importantly maybe just get some health down, right? Not necessarily to kill him and take him out, not at this point in the battle, and as well take a look at the ships, the ally ships I have around me, right? I've got 2 destroyers in front of me. I do have a battleship with me as well, and then there's myself. So I don't want to take the lead and go after that Thotgor, because the Thotgor is most likely going to be able to kill me. I'd have to get in really close, and then I have to deal with the Thotgor's torpedoes. Now, yes, my Mikhail has torpedoes as well, but they're mounted on the stern, and I just don't know how well I can actually get in there and fire upon him, especially considering I only have the 1 on either side. But anyway, it doesn't take away from the torpedoes on this Mikhail. They are good torpedoes, and they come in handy when you need them, right? Anyway, pushing back into the eastern side point, you can see that my team has taken the east side point. For the most part, the enemies are concentrated over there on the west, right? That is where my team is currently duking it out with them, and over here on the east, we don't have a whole lot to deal with. There is just, this continuing Thotgor here. So we're going to engage them. My destroyers are, putting torps in the water for him as well. We do have an enemy destroyer around here somewhere. There he is. He just popped up. So we know that he's here. We saw his torpedoes, right? So we're able to dodge those without any issue at all. And as well, in the meantime, my battleship in the background is also engaging that Thotgor. So hopefully all of us together can get this Thotgor gone, because there are other enemy ships that are starting to pop up now that are going to become more and more of a threat, especially considering I'm driving basically straight towards them right now, right? So I'm going to have to do something about this to try and get myself out of this situation. Now my destroyers, right on point, got the Thotgor with some nice torpedoes there. I just need to send in a few more rounds to finish him off. There we go. He is gone. We don't have to worry about the Thotgor anymore. Fantastic. So we're going to switch over to the enemy ship here. It's another cruiser. We've got a Cleveland now. So Cleveland at tier 6. Biggest threat that this guy poses to me is his rapid firing 155s and setting me on fire, right? That's the biggest threat. Now luckily for me, he is focused on my destroyer, but I say that with a grain of salt because I really don't want my destroyer to die. I'd rather him focus me, frankly, right now, so that I can help save my destroyer. And unfortunately, there we go. We can see my destroyer goes down. That's kind of unfortunate, but the Cleveland is almost dead, so if I can get a few more shots into this guy, we can take him out and we can continue our push up here in the east. So there we go. He's gone. Fantastic. Unfortunately, my destroyer is gone as well, but yeah, okay. Not too bad. We'll deal with it. Now, this player is AFK, so I see that he's AFK, so I'm not necessarily too concerned about him just yet. Really wanted to come around and see what was over here first. So there we go. That's an enemy Mitsuki, I believe. So he's, probably has torpedoes in the water for me. I don't have an acoustic sonar ability on the Macau. The Macau doesn't get it. This is something that I'm still getting used to because I'm so used to my Japanese cruisers. I run it on all of them because they are, I just find it really effective when I'm facing down destroyers like that. But I don't have it on the Macau, so I need to play this safe, need to start maneuvering around. We can see the Mitsuki, there he is. His engines are gone, so this is a perfect opportunity for me to try and get this guy gone, right? Really put shells into him. Have to be very careful here, though. You'll notice I do have a broadside exposed. His torpedoes from the first spread are gone, so I don't need to worry about those. They've already missed me. It's now the second spread that I'm concerned about, right? There they are there. We can see them. Not going to hit me, and I managed to take out the Mitsuki. So that is really good as well. I'm already up to 3 kills now, so that's not too shabby. There we go there. I fired off my torpedoes at the enemy ship over here. No, that's a cruiser. Yeah, it's an enemy York. I forgot. So we're going to fire our torpedoes off of the York. He's AFK, like I said, so no big deal there. Now, while there aren't too many enemy ships around, I am going to start focusing on the York, right? We put a few shots into him. I got a nice citadel there as well. Loading up my armor piercing right now because I'm so close to the York, and that's why I got the citadel. Switching back over to high explosive because I have some battleships off in the distance. Well, cruiser, New Orleans off in the distance, but you can see battleships as well. So that's why I've got the the high explosive loaded. Now my torpedoes did get to the York in time for me to manage to get the kill, so fantastic. He's gone. There's a 4th kill for me as well. Not too shabby. We're going to start engaging this New Orleans. The New Orleans is a pretty big threat here for me. He has the ship has good guns on her. I just really can't compete with the guns on the New Orleans when we're looking at a Macau here. The only thing that I have working at my advantage, is that hopefully I can set some fires and start doing that extra bit of damage to him. I obviously have to maneuver around frantically because I do not want to expose broadsides to the New Orleans. He will destroy me if I do that. Luckily, though, I'm able to take some pretty good defensive maneuvers here right now and, more or less avoiding the shots that are incoming. We avoided the first salvo. We can see a second salvo on its way in now. And yeah, that's not too bad at all. 2,200 damage. Yeah, but oh well. At least I'm not on fire, and at least he didn't hit any citadels, right? That's the main thing here. So we're going to focus around, remember, keep our situational awareness here. Taking a look at the overall battle, we do see an enemy destroyer off in the distance. Now I'm in a cruiser. I've Got some good cannons on, you know, rapid firing, so immediately I'm going to start engaging this destroyer if I can. I'm going to let the New Orleans go off and do his own thing for right now. The destroyer is putting pressure on some of my allies, and I want to support the allies, right? Especially considering we're up here in the north and we're taking this point. If you'll notice on the west, we did lose the battle on the west. Kind of lost the battle on the west, right? My ships are in a retreat over there, and the enemy ships are actually coming back up to the north right now, the majority of them, that is. So more shots go in towards the enemy destroyer there. If we can get this guy gone, I might be able to get myself a Kracken. That wouldn't be too bad at all, but I'm not going to keep my fingers crossed, right? Right now, I'm just focused on getting the victory, getting the extra credits. That's what I want. So I put a few more shots into the enemy destroyer off in the distance. He's popped out of view, but hopefully he's still in and around that area, so maybe those shots will finish him off. Not 100% sure. We still have the New Orleans off in the distance. We can see him over there, but I'm out of his range. He's out of my range, so that is okay. Not too bad. Up pops the enemy destroyer once again. He's almost dead, but you can see he has managed to repair the damage that was done to him, right? So I'm going to put in some more shots into him here. Maybe I can hit him. Nah, my aim was just off. He was going slower than I thought he was. Wasn't able to do it. But more shots are coming in over the island. Maybe they'll get him. No. Not gonna happen. Oh well, no big deal. We'll let that guy sneak off for now. Rather, one of my allies just took him out, so that's good. He's gone. Refocused on the New Orleans now. We can see him off in the distance. He's still out of my range, but I am going to approach him. I'm going to use the island I have in front of me as whatever cover I can possibly get out of it while I make this approach to him. In the meantime, my ally ships are going to continue to cap this northern point, or at least to put pressure on it and to begin capping this northern point, which is very important. We do want to get a cap advantage here. We do have parity with them, and we do, have the majority of the points here. We're really kicking some butt here, but we don't want to, get too cocky with that. If we can really get that third point, it's going to seal our victory right now and go a long way to giving me the credits that I want. Yes. So we're continuing to put pressure here on the New Orleans, again using whatever cover I can from the island in front of me, now off to my starboard side. The New Orleans is kind of getting into my range now, so I can start engaging him a little, putting a few shots into him, just finding my range for him right now. Maybe get this guy on fire. There's still the chance of getting a Kracken out of this. Unfortunately, yeah, I ran right into my allied battleship there. I do it often enough. You think I'd learn, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway. Shots continue to go in on the New Orleans. There we go. I managed to set him on fire. So hopefully he's already used his repair and that fire will burn for a little and I can get some more damage out of that. Nope, doesn't look like it. He has put the fire out. And so we know at least now, if any more fires get set to them, they're going to burn for probably the full time, right? Hopefully, anyway. While all of this is going down, you'll notice we did cap the northern point. The enemies only have the 1 point remaining on the west side. Victory is basically ours now. The only thing that's going to prevent us from getting victory is if we lose any ships early on. Unfortunately, I do cut off the enemy battleship once again, my ally battleship once again, and managed to collide with them. Oh, Thotgor, you noob. Oh well. Not going to bother me. Fairly happy with the victory here. Just a few more points and we're going to take the victory out. We've got a North Carolina off in the distance. Now the majority of my allies are focused on this North Carolina, so I'm going to focus on them as well. Maybe set a few more fires here for the ARP missions, right? I finished the mission, so I have the Congo right now. I haven't actually used it because I have no interest at all in taking a look at the anime stuff there, but whatever. It still happens, it still counts, so I've got a few more fires to set and then I'll work on the third part of the Miyoko mission, yeah. More shots going into the North Carolina. North Carolina is ablaze. Take a look at that. He does not have much chance at all here. A lot of my ally ships are around, right? We've got destroyers putting torpedoes into him or launching torpedoes at him. We do have other cruisers engaging him with high explosives as well. There he goes. North Carolina just took a number of torpedoes from one of my friendly destroyers, so that was fantastic. He's continuing to burn. He's flooding now as well. If we can get this guy gone, then we're going to take the victory here. So let's just try and burn this guy down, get him gone. We can take victory. Maybe I might get a Kracken out of this after all. Nope, no chance. Battle ended too early. Oh well, doesn't matter, right? still a fantastic battle. I was pleased with it. The team, right? The team really pulled it off here, especially on the east. You know, still kudos goes out to those on the west, because the people on the west at least were able to hold off the enemies long enough so they couldn't go down to the south and cap. But you know, the people on the east, the people who were over there with me on the east, we did a great job because we were able to push up, take the point, and then again push into that northern point. You know, at the end of the day, I walk out with a bunch of money, some credits, so that's fantastic. All right, so moving into the next battle, we do see I'm in my Marblehead today. I'm grouped up with Tiny Orza, a member of the clan here, and we are on Strait. Now, I don't know about you guys, but in that last clip, I kind of wanted the Kracken. You know, it wasn't the main part of the battle, right? It wasn't why I was there, but it just seemed so close. So, we're going to jump into this battle, and we're going to try. We're going to try and get a Kracken. Now, I say that, you know, just for the whole movie, or the whole video thing. To be completely honest, I played this battle without any expectations whatsoever, right? The only reason why I'm taking the Marblehead out is Tiny wanted to take his Congo, because he's working on some battleship missions for the Pearls. So I was like, whatever, I'll take my Marblehead, get some more credits. But it just so happens to work out quite well for me, and the video especially. So immediately, we're in the south. I know that, you know, quickly I'm going to become spotted, so I immediately take a turn, a hard turn to starboard. I'm going to go south. I'm going to let some of my allies' ships get a little more ahead of me, so that the enemies maybe and hopefully will spot them and start targeting them. You'll notice that I was spotted there for a minute as well. So I do expect shells to start coming in, so that's why I'm turning back towards the west, right? I don't want any shells to come in and hit me and get some lucky citadels. At the end of the day, the Marblehead, you know, again, has very little armor, easy to take out, so I don't want that to happen. So some of my ally ships have moved up. That is fantastic. You can see Tiny right here. So I'm going to move up. I'm going to start supporting them. Now, we saw a destroyer pop up there, so I'm aware of this destroyer, and I want to keep him in mind because, you know, Tiny's in the battleship, so I want to try and screen Tiny from the destroyers here. That would be an ideal situation. Tiny's engaging the enemy ships off in the distance, right? We do see a number of enemy battleships back there, some enemy cruisers as well. I think there was a Nuremberg, and I'm not sure what the battleship was, maybe a Colorado. But anyway, they're back there, right? They're back there. In comes some dive bombers. Now, I don't have any AA on the Marblehead. Well, I think I have 2 or maybe 1 gun, so you can't expect a whole lot of AA coverage from your Marblehead. But what you can expect is to do some pretty significant damage very, very quickly. We'll see the Nuremberg off in the distance, right? I'm just sort of getting my range on him right now. I didn't do that massive amount of damage there to him. I'm not sure who did, but I still have shots coming in, and just a few more hits, right, and he will be gone, and then we can switch over to another target. Keeping in mind, though, still thinking about the destroyer, right? I know that there's a destroyer around. I want to try and get the destroyer gone just to help Tiny out here as well, because Tiny's on fire. You know, he's taking a bunch of damage. He doesn't have, you know, it's not looking too great right now for him. So there we go. We took out the Nuremberg. He's gone, and get the first blood for it. Fantastic. Up pops the enemy destroyer once again. There he is there. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves into position to start dealing with this guy, depending on where he decides to turn, right? So it turns out he's going to come out over on this side of the rock. He is avoiding my ally torpedoes, but, you know, kind of screws it up there at the end. Oh, that was close for you, buddy. Anyway, my shots are coming in. Obviously, we've got high explosive loaded, so now it's just a matter of, you know, putting as much fire into this guy as I possibly can to get him gone. Tiny is still alive this time, and I do have some other allies around, so I don't want this destroyer in here messing things up for us right now. If we can hold on to the south, maybe take out the enemy ships down here in the south, then we can push to the north and start thinking about capping the enemy base, so that would be great. There we go. Enemy destroyer is gone. That's my first kill. Fantastic. This poor Phoenix, I think it was a Phoenix anyway, that or an Omaha, he's on really low health. I just have to put a few shots into him. There we go, gone. Second kill. Fantastic. We still have the Congo off in the distance, but he's well out of my range, so I'm not too concerned about that guy. We're going to let him be over there. We're taking a look at this enemy Nuremberg. Yes, another enemy Nuremberg off in the distance, so I'm going to start engaging this guy, try and get my range on him, right? He is, you know, very much at my max range right now, so it's questionable as to whether or not I'm even going to be able to hit him. But then he starts turning in, so now he's getting closer. We're closing the distance here, so I can really start ranging in on this guy and hopefully getting some hits into him. He's not at full speed, so that's why we're adjusting as well, right? He is maneuvering around, and as well to that, you know, he does have, or rather, he is engaging some of my allies. So you'll notice that I have a New Mexico who's requesting support. He wants someone to take out that enemy Nuremberg. So okay, alright, I've got him in my sights, right? I'll just continue firing at him. I can put shells in over the mountain here. So we're going to try and take this guy down, help out my enemy New Mexico there. So the enemy, or sorry, my ally New Mexico. So my ally New Mexico gets some nice shots into that Nuremberg, right? And he is almost gone. If I can just rain a few more shells in onto him, we'll get him down, be my third kill as well. So that wouldn't be too bad at all. So a few more shots come in. I'm thinking to myself, if I can just set him on fire, we'd get him gone. Just a few more bits of damage here, Thotgor, and look how yeah. Oh well, whatever, doesn't matter. My ally gets the kill, good for that guy. More importantly, Nuremberg is gone, and we were able to save our New Mexico. Up pops enemy destroyer. Yes, it's an isokaze. New Mexico immediately starts asking for help, once again, obvious reasons. So I'm going to turn, I'm going to start closing the distance here on this isokaze. I want to get the isokaze gone, and I want to protect my ally New Mexico here. The New Mexico is a great battleship. I'm sure, you know, those of you who've tried it or have it know it is a good battleship, right? Especially at close ranges, that thing just destroys people. So for that reason, I want to keep this guy alive. I don't want to just sacrifice him, right, to this enemy destroyer. So immediately we start putting shots into the isokaze. You can see the isokaze has torpedoes on the way for the New Mexico. I thought it was all over for my New Mexico friend here, but my New Mexico is able to avoid the torpedoes, so that was some fancy maneuvering there. The enemy isokaze just lost his engines. He was on fire, so he just repaired all that damage. So now we know any preceding damage we do is going to take effect, and it's actually going to burn him down here, so that's fantastic. Obviously my ally New Mexico is putting shots into the isokaze as well. I get a few more shots into him. There we go. My ally New Mexico takes him out, and we saved the ally New Mexico as well as a bonus. So fantastic, we did it. Now we can really focus in on these two battleships. We've got a Fuso, and we still have that Congo. Tiny is still alive at this point, and Tiny is dealing with the enemy Congo off in the distance. While that is taking place, because the Fuso is within my range, I start engaging the Fuso, trying to set him on fire, making him use some of his repair and heal abilities, right? That would be ideal, so that when, you know, I really do have to duke it out with that guy, he won't have those advantages. Especially, you know, I don't want him to have full health. That is just a challenge to deal with. Here is the Congo off in the distance. So he's now within my range, so I'm going to start engaging him now. We can see that we do have enemy planes up ahead with, I think it's a tier 5 Japanese aircraft carrier that is at play here. So we're going to start engaging the enemy Congo, trying to set fires to him, right? Trying to get this health gone. He's down to about a quarter health, so that's pretty good. If we can manage to set him on fire, we might be able to actually kill this guy. Maybe I won't get the kill, that's okay. Hopefully though, one of my allies will get the kill, and hopefully we can get this guy gone as well. That would be ideal. Now at this point in time in the battle as well, you'll notice that we only actually lost 2 of our ships so far, so we are doing quite well here. Managed to get a few hits on the Congo. I even set a fire to him, but he repaired it, so now we know that any additional fires I set like that one will burn for the duration, so that is good. So fires are burning on the enemy Congo, fantastic. He's moving in behind some cover, but this isn't that big of a deal because I am able to shoot over the mountain here. This is where I get distracted. I see the enemy aircraft carrier. Enemy aircraft carrier grounds himself and is in a reverse. I figure that my fire hopefully is going to burn the Congo to death. If not, take him down to such low health that one of my allies will finish him off. I'm focused on this enemy aircraft carrier right now, because the enemy aircraft carrier has been quite a nuisance for myself and my allies down here in the south. So if I can get this guy gone, this is going to help all of us. So immediately, yeah, focused on the enemy aircraft carrier here. We need to get this guy gone. Now the enemy aircraft carrier isn't that stupid, right? He is actually, or he or she rather, the player is actually using the island as best as you know, as possible for cover. What has happened is he's reversed into the island, and now he's positioned himself so he can more or less drive in a straight line away from the island. We can kind of see his flight deck now, right? This is the point where I realize what he's doing, so I know where to fire and where to land my shells so that I can continue to set him on fire like we just did, get some hits into him and get him gone. So, it was a good play by the carrier, by this enemy carrier captain. It just didn't work out in his favor this time. I was just too close, too focused on him, right? We can see him, he's on fire, he's almost gone. The enemy Congo, I believe, at this point is gone as well. There is still the enemy Fuso back there, and you'll notice that we can actually see a Cleveland. So there we go, I finished off the enemy aircraft carrier. That is my 4th kill, so fantastic. One more kill, we can get ourselves a Kracken. So that might happen in this battle, you never know. There's the Fuso, putting shots into the Fuso immediately. All of my ally ships around me are doing the same thing as well. I still have Tiny with me as well, so that is fantastic, and Tiny is engaging the Fuso. So perfect. If we can get this Fuso gone, that's going to go a long way to help our team here as well to get the victory. Now, I know what you're saying, Thotgor, you guys are probably going to win this one anyway. It's true, we do win it. But, it's still touch and go. You can never never count your chickens before they hatch, right? Or never count your eggs before they hatch, whatever that saying is. Just, anything can happen. If you just decide that, you get too cocky, you might throw it all away. Even though I'm on basically full health here, things can still go really, really bad for me. Because keep in mind, I'm facing off right now against a Fuso, and I have a Cleveland that is within range. Rather, I'm within his range, right? So these are things I need to keep in mind. Now the Fuso's firing at me. There we go. He did a full broadside. I got to turn. Have to get out of this. Because if this Fuso hits me with that full broadside, I'm going to die. It's going to happen. Because I was able to see the shells incoming, take evasive maneuver, I mitigate the damage a lot, and I actually take very little damage from that full salvo, so that was really good. Tiny continues to engage the Cleveland in the north, right? He's up there working over that Cleveland right now. We can see that there are some enemy ships coming into play now as well from the north, and these guys in the north are on fairly low health. There we go, there goes another enemy battleship, so that's fantastic. Still have the Cleveland up here. We can see New Mexico in the distance, and of course the Fuso that I've been firing at this entire time. So maneuvering around, I am going to stay within the islands over here on the east side. This is where I figure I'm going to have the best chance of surviving against these battleships, because I can, move in and out of cover, I can break line of sight, maybe they won't spot me, so this is good. This is my plan. Now the Fuso's gone. I can't really, get shots into him right at this time. And to be fair, I kind of forgot about him because, I see this New Mexico and I really wanted to get the New Mexico gone. So I am engaging the New Mexico. You can see I do have allies helping me out here as well. We're raining shots into the New Mexico here. If I can just set him on fire, maybe he might burn down and maybe I might get the kill. Now I'm taking shots from the enemy Cleveland and Fuso, right? We just dodged some Cleveland shots. The Fuso just did all that damage to me, and this is when I was thinking to myself, oh god, Thotgor. Like, what are you doing? Stop trying to get the Kraken. Deal with the threats around you. So the Fuso made his presence known. I got lucky in that I didn't die. So I have to, focus in on this Fuso. I gotta get this Fuso gone. More shots coming in from the Fuso, and there we go. I am almost dead now, right? So this plays back to the whole thing. Even though we're doing really well and there are only 2 enemy ships remaining, we could still lose this if we're just a bunch of idiots, and if we just get overconfident, you could still lose this. It's still possible. So so I don't want that to happen. So I'm taking evasive maneuvers against the Fuso. So I managed to set the Fuso on fire. Now, luckily for me, I've got an Allied destroyer up there right next to the Fuso, right? And you can see the Allied destroyer's torpedoes coming in. Now, the Allied destroyer, I don't know how he did this, but at 2 kilometers he managed to miss all those torpedoes, but whatever. At least the Fuso, lost focus on me for a brief moment in time and had to focus on that destroyer. While he was focused on the destroyer, I set 2 fires to him. So he's now on fire in 3 different places on his ship because there was 1 pre-existing fire, so good. His health is starting to melt. This is what we want to have happen. If we can just keep this up, we can get the Fuso gone, then we only have to deal with the enemy Cleveland, and that Cleveland should be really easy to focus down. While all of this was going on, unfortunately the enemy Cleveland, I think it was the enemy Cleveland, managed to take out Tiny, so that sucked. But whatever. Tiny did his fair share in this battle, and if we can just, myself and the ally ships have remaining, if we can just stay focused, work as a team here, take shots of opportunity, we should win. So, up pops the enemy Cleveland. Now, I have to focus on the enemy Cleveland because I don't have any shots on the Fuso right now, and I'm not willing to, put my own want for the Kracken above actually winning this battle here. Now, the Fuso's coming out from behind cover. He's fairly close, so this is an excellent opportunity for me to start putting shots into him. There we go, set another fire to him, so that is fantastic. If we can just keep whittling this guy down, might be able to take the kill, might be able to get myself that Kraken. So things might still work out well here. Now the Fuso is now in reverse. He's realized what he's done. He realizes that this is a terrible move for him to do, and he's trying to reverse and trying to get out of this situation. My allies are coming in as well, putting pressure on the enemy base, and in fact they're even capping the enemy base right now. I continue to rain shells in on the Fuso. Hopefully I can get this guy gone. There's another fire. Just maybe one last kill. There we go. I killed him. Yes, it was really quick there, but I did actually manage to kill that Fuso. So let's take a look. I got my Kraken. Fantastic. And I got an arsonist out of that as well for killing the Fuso. So fantastic. That was an excellent game. And really happy with just the credits I walk away with, right? All goes towards the rune now. Fantastic. So that's today's video. Do hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave any comments as always that you have for me in the video comment section below. I love reading those and responding back to them. Hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Hit subscribe if you are not a subscriber. And as always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.